Reading the Bible is not going to help you. I'll just be vulnerable.
Be angry, change your voice. Hello, welcome to Lost Sheep number 3. This is the second half of James chapter 1. So go watch.
What? You know what this is?
What was that?
3. It's called a chicken piece. This is chicken feet. And it's like a piece side by side.
Okay. So go watch episode 2 for the first part of James chapter 1 if you haven't, and then come back.
And then right now we'll get you guys to read chapter 1 verse 19 to 27.
My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. It just tells you to think before you do. Always be very thinking. And also don't be angry. That's definitely something that I have to work on for myself as well. And I guess a few tips from me personally. Whenever you get angry, breathe. I look like a crazy person when I get angry. I'm just like...
I'm getting trauma flashbacks right now.
As you can see, that's actually like a real thing that I do. So if you actually ever get really angry and you don't want to like punch a wall or something, which is definitely not something that you don't do,
breathe. Just breathe.
Like quick to listen and slow to speak. Again, like just thinking before you do. And instead of constantly talking, constantly giving out, you know, stuff, like constantly just talking about whatever, just listen sometimes. Just take a step back, like humble yourself, listen to what other people have to say. Instead of being like,
oh, you did this, you did that. Why did you do that?
Like, instead of just talking everything, sometimes just like analyze the situation first and be quick to listen. That can be a scenario in terms of like anger, but it applies to everything in life. Like not everything is just you having to output and just like give your opinions. Sometimes you can just listen and just listen to what other people have to say. Think about their perspectives as well, because there's a lot of things. And I guess like in terms of perspectives, you can just think about the picture where it's like a 9, but on one side of the person standing here, they're looking at it and it's like a 9, but this person standing here is looking at it and it's a 6. So they're both right, but it's just like depending on where you stand. So sometimes you just have to like slow down, because if you're standing on the 6, you're never going to see what that 9 is thinking. You know, like why are you seeing a 9? You don't know if you don't know where they're at. But if you see, oh, you're right there, that's why you see a 9, then you can. But if you just keep talking, you're not going to see what they're thinking about, and people are not going to want to talk to you as well. In terms of anger, what helped me to not be so angry is just to not hang on to so many things, and to also just humble yourself. I think like ego plays a lot in it. Like if you have a thick ego and you just want to be right all the time, you will just start to get angry all the time. Like anything that you do will just triggers you, because it just like hurts your ego and you want to protect it. So you want to like snap at people who are hurting you. And I think there was also this one quote that kind of just not cured my anger issues, but was the start of my healing of my anger issues. This cure is that anger is like drinking poison and expecting your enemy to die. Because you are hurting yourself, but you think that it's gonna hurt them because you're angry at somebody else, and you think that it's gonna make a difference to their life, but you're only doing worse to your own mental health. It's only making your own mind worse. It's only making you more clouded. It's only making your own judgments worse. It's only making your own day worse. You're not really doing anything to somebody else unless they decide to get affected by you, but that's them. Like they don't have to be affected at all just because you're angry. So you being angry actually does nothing to who you're angry at.
So main takeaway, don't be angry, change your voice. Verse 22, do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Don't just listen, don't just talk. I mean, not really talk the talk, I guess. Like don't just listen to the talk, walk the walk. That goes really well with like the doubts thing that we said in the last episode. Like don't just say,
Don't doubt yourself, believe yourself. Pray and believe.
Don't just like say that, but actually do it. Which, you know, we actually are still struggling with it as well, but we do this together. There you go.
I forgot. Oh, okay. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourself. Do what it says. And I think deceiving yourself is kind of like, a lot of times when you've listened to the word or when you read the Bible a lot, you feel very good, you feel very proud of yourself because you just read the Bible. And a lot of the times if you, for example, if you watch a self-improvement video, you'll feel very good about yourself. Or if you read a self-help book, you'll feel really proud of yourself. Or if you watch a video about like how to diet or watch a video about how to exercise, you'll feel really good about yourself. When you start consuming knowledge that's actually really beneficial to you, and you just watch any form of, like whether it's reading, watching, anything, you just consume some sort of knowledge that's helpful to you, you'll feel really proud of yourself because you just learned something new that might benefit you in the future. But the thing is, it won't benefit you unless you actually do it out. Like watching that self-improvement video, reading that book, it's not gonna help you. Reading the Bible, it's not gonna help you unless you put it out. I can be an atheist and just read the Bible just to learn about it. But if I don't believe in it, and if I don't take action, and I just don't even believe in what it says, I just read it as if it's like a storybook, then what? Am I gonna go into heaven? No, like just because I read it doesn't mean anything. Don't merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. I think that deceive yourselves is kind of important. Don't have that false sense of accomplishment. Be aware of that. And that's not to say you can't feel proud of yourself when you read the Bible. Like, of course, like that's one part of it, but remember to do part 2 as well, to actually act it out. And I think that is really difficult because when you listen to the word, it's very difficult to just put it in your mind. But when you have to act it out and it's something new, it'll be difficult because it's against what you're used to. So I think that's something that I have to work on as well. There's a lot of things that I know I should do, but I don't. You know, for example, like exercise or something like that, you know? Like I know how to exercise, I know how to lose weight, but it's very difficult to actually act it out and to go against what you want in your flesh. Even though I know, okay, if I just don't eat this at this time and this time, if I just don't eat that for today, over a consistent period of time, I will lose weight. You know what I mean? Like it's very easy. Like you know, like if I was operating a robot and asking the robot to do whatever I wanted to do to lose weight, I will have the robot lose weight in no time because I know how to actually do it. But for me to actually do it is more difficult because I have all these things that I want. So I think it applies to the word as well. There's a lot of things that you know that the word tells you to do, but a lot of the things in your flesh will tell you to not. And you have to
Fight that.
yeah, you have to know the words, hold the Bible so close to you that it's literally ingrained into your brain. And I think that's, I don't know if this is related, but in terms of like a relationship with God and in terms of doing what God tells you to do, you can think of it kind of like if you are married to like your husband or your wife. If your husband or your wife tells you to do something, you would kind of want to do it, right? Like you would want to spend time with him or her, you would want to do stuff with them, you would want to listen to what they have to say, you would want to be doing stuff that's in their best interest because you love them, right? And that's the same for God as well. You don't just want to listen and just not do. Because if you truly love God, you would want to do what He wants us to do because it would give you satisfaction as well. It's not about like listening to a teacher, for example. That should not be, I feel like that shouldn't be the relationship that you should strive towards. It should be more of like somebody that you really love. But of course, God is above, one level above us, but it should be like a relationship full of love and adoration for God. That's why we want to do what God wants us to do.
Verse 26, those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves and their religion is worthless. So don't call yourself a Christian if you can't control your tongue on a very surface level. It's just like controlling your tongue is like swearing and like talking down on other people, so don't do that. And I know all of us, we all struggle with different things. Some people swear a lot, some people like to gossip, like to tear other people down with their mouth, with like what they say. So it's all a journey and we all have different ones, but we're all going the same direction.
I think it just goes back to like loving God as well. Like if you really truly love God, would you want to tear down His creations? Would you want to talk bad about His creations? Like you have to keep in mind that when you're talking down about somebody else, when you're swearing at somebody else, when you're talking bad about anything that's in this world, it's something that the Lord created and He created you as well. We all come from the same creator at the end of the day. We all have our own problems, we all have our own ways of doing things, so we just have to have some sort of compassion for other people and just have some sort of empathy. And I think like we're all working towards it. Like for me, for example, I'll just be vulnerable. I kind of fall into the trap of like talking bad about other people a lot, right? Like to you, like not my friends, but just
some people that you don't even know exactly who.
Yeah.
Just you don't get the idea.
I mean, everyone has their own triggering points, but I just feel like I just feel like I should just ignore them instead of talking about it. Or instead of being like, oh, why is this person like this? I should just ignore it. Even though they're not right, but I feel like I shouldn't criticize them even if they're not right. I think that's what I should work better on doing, because I just feel like I need to criticize them sometimes.
It's not. So that's all for today's video. In general, this little passage is really good for people in relationships, how to deal with those type of problems. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.